Hello guys, today I'm gonna teach you how to use the basics the basics of the transform property in CSS. So let's start with the definition, or not a definition but only a note. These transformations only visually manipulate the element. So with that in mind, let's start with the first transformation, that is translate. Moves the element in the x and y axis. And here we have an example. This is a normal HTML document. Here we have a style tag to put all the styles. And here we have 3 divs. Every div has 200 pixels in width, 200 pixels in height, an opacity of 0.5, and a float. So right now I'm gonna do a translate. What does translate? Translate does it moves the element in the x axis and in the y axis. So with that, if we go to the example here, we can see that the element is moved in its position is like 200 pixels down. That's why we move it 200 pixels down in the y axis. So let me just draw so you can actually see it. Let me use this. Okay, so this is the x axis and this is the y axis. So with that, when I put something in the x axis, it moves to the right. So let's change, for example, if I want to move 100 pixels in the x axis. Reload. Let me save the file. Reload, and it moves 100 pixels in the x axis. I'm gonna delete this to the default. Okay, so instead of 200 pixels, let's say 100 pixels, and it moves 100 pixels in the y axis. So that's how translate works. And as you might see, it doesn't affect the normal flow of the document. I mean, the other elements think that the element we're modifying is right here. So that's what they think, but actually we're only modifying the element visually. So let's go to the next. The next is the scale property, or the scale function. A scale multiplies the size by the given ratio. So here we have the example. It's almost the same as the previous one. So here we use the transform property and scale 1.5. What means this? This means, for example, if I have in the width 200 pixels per 1.5, it will be 300 pixels, and height 200 pixels per 1.5, it will be 300 pixels. So at the end it will be 300 pixels per 300 pixels. That's what scales do. This is the example, right? So let me add another function, that is translate. I'm going to translate in the y-axis 300 pixels, or let's say 200 pixels. No, 100%. And here we go. it goes run in the y-axis 100% of its size. That is the same. Let me draw a square or a rectangle here. Here is the same as here. Right? So that's what it does. Let me delete this, and if I go here and change this to 1, it will be only 1. We're only modifying the size, right? So that's how it works. Let's go to the next, that is rotate. Rotate rotates the element by the given unit. So in this case I'm gonna use degrees, so I'm gonna rotate the square for 5 degrees. So, and here how it looks, and we can use translate to translate, let's say 0 to 100 pixels. And as you can see, this is a little weird, because the position matters. It's very different if I do this or if I do this, right? So it's a little weird because the functions applies to the result of the previous one. So this rotate applies to the result of this. And here, for example, what happens if here I do translate 0, 100, 200 pixels, and then scale 1.5. It will do this. It will be different. Let's say scale 1. It's different. So take that in mind. I'll leave some links in the description so you can check it out and learn a little bit more. Let's go to the skew. The skew skews the element by the given unit. What means skew? So skew means like stretch the square. It looks actually like this. It looks actually like this. So for example, I am skewing in the y-axis. I can skew in the x-axis too. And it will look like this. It's quite strange, but you can learn that and it will be useful someday. I think that's all. So see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.